change the other chicken's water.
Oh, and we have volume. There we go. Huh. Got it. Huh. Alright, that sun's gonna be right in my face. Huh?
Yeah, so you might want to
Staying back here, huh?
I'm gonna pull those shades down a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you got to last time.
Yeah.
Mr. Cole, how are you?
Good morning, everybody.
We didn't get the doors locked, huh?
I know.
The wind blowing over.
It's your favorite, I know. Thought I'd come hear the conversation.
Well, I guess it's a public meeting, we can't really stop you.
No, you haven't figured that one out yet. I got nothing to say.
That's not true.
No, I'm not around to say.
Your request for the flags,
Yeah, I gotta do something.
Yeah.
How much you gonna give us?
$5?
Well,
No, what was it last year?
I'll take as much as I can get.
Well, you got a request.
I know, but I asked for something, I got less, so I figured I'd just take whatever I get.
I think last year was
Because you got a
300.
request by the beginning of March.
March, yeah,
Okay, thank you.
yeah.
The
But-
request is based on, we're trying to be, by the flag or something. maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it was, we gave 300 last
I
year.
think it was like 3 requests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wrong book.
The ratio of dollars per flag is light for Newry compared to the other one, that's all. That's what I'm saying. Like Upton or Gilead or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, it was 300 last year.
Okay.
American flag.
Yeah.
I'll ask for what I'll ask and I'll take, we'll take what we can get.
Yeah.
But I'll ask, thank you for the reminder,
Yeah.
I know I gotta do that.
I was gonna email you. I think I'm working on that part of it.
That's all right.
But I don't have to.
Despite my outward demeanor, I'm pretty slack actually. All kinds of things I'm gonna do that I never quite get around to doing, so.
Enough hours in a day.
Oh, there are, I just do whatever I feel like instead of what I rather ought to be.
Well, we all do that on occasion.
I think people could get a lot more done if everything was a crisis.
Yeah. True.
I don't wanna live like that anymore, I think.
I know.
We don't take somebody's check, you don't have to jump.
Yeah.
Real slow.
Yes.
We're just gonna have to get it.
What time you got?
I got 8:57. On my cell phone.
That's always fun, when they get that hooked.
Maybe we should get one of those alarm clocks that shows on the ceiling. Maybe that
We
would
get one we can
keep better
down
time.
here, but
Yeah.
we're not gonna
Climb up.
go out from
Yeah.
From the Medicare, they get away with a clock like that, they get one.
Somebody can't get it, have dogs.
It's got 24 hours, so you're sitting there at
I
7,
was
8
sitting
o'clock
over
at night trying to figure out what time.
Unless you guys really get the,
No, it's probably either Loretta or Meredith.
you whirly do the chairs all around.
New.
We have extra dog right now.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, Bo Berry's there wreaking havoc.
Uh-huh.
He has 0 chill when he comes over.
Well,
Yeah, it's crazy.
I printed this last week.
I don't know where it is.
In the scrap pile. In your scrap pile? Probably. In my box under my desk.
How old is this building, Greta?
built in the sixties.
I'm looking at the beams,
Yeah.
they're real, they're not, that's not laminated, they're real, those
Yeah.
things.
Yep,
Yes, because you can feel the cracks in them.
It's impressive, big piece of wood.
it was built in the sixties.
Back
Did you-
68, 69.
Yeah, something like
67,
67.
Did you edit the agenda?
What?
D.
No, I had it there, but we're just not gonna do that first.
Okay.
We're just gonna do it, but,
Actually, was we in the district at that? Yeah, we was
Yeah.
in the district, so it was back in that early, mid-sixties.
yeah, because I went kindergarten through third grade here.
See, I
When I
went
was born in
power
61.
school,
Yeah,
and we had the grade school, then we moved up here, and we had power school and branch school here, and then finally, we went out to Bethel.
yeah, I was in third grade when they shut this down. What was I, 8?
Mm-hmm.
I was born in 61, so. I don't care.
So they didn't build it very, I mean, it wasn't open very long after they built it?
I don't know.
You said it was built in the sixties?
We had,
Well,
no,
they
it was
used it
60, but I
for-
think it was, then after, of course, after they
We
shut it
used it
down,
for-
it was used by,
It was one grade for the whole district at one point. in
sixth
time.
grade, when I was in sixth grade, they sent us up here for 2 years.
And then nobody used it for a while.
Yeah,
We might as well call a meeting
Yep.
to order.
in our book.
Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you haven't signed the warrants,
There's
feel
one more
free
sign.
before you leave.
She's gonna have one more by the time you leave.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, it's not our fault, we weren't here when we got here.
It was on her desk.
All right. Are any errors or omissions of February 4th, Town of Newry Select Board meeting minutes?
I didn't see any, and I'll make a motion, we accept them as read.
I was second the motion.
Then moved and seconded that we approve the Town of Newry Select Board meeting minutes for February 4th, 2025. All those in favor?
In favor.
In favor.
In favor.
What's today, 18th?
It is.
Same day.
Then some, I think.
Happy night.
Thank you.
This month is pretty much gone.
Yeah.
Any adjustments to the agenda?
The only adjustment I have is D, I'm not gonna do wages at the end of the meeting. I'm gonna do just budget.
No wages, that means you're all working for free.
Yeah. Today,
She thinks that's funny, but they're serious. Any announcements? I don't know if I wanna ask this next question, but public comment?
Well, everyone knows me, I'm notorious, it goes both directions.
I'm
I'm really just here out of curiosity, and I've been curious about things, I read things, and I like to know, when you heard me, you know, lucky I have a day to myself, I ski a lot, but right now I'm here to listen to solid waste and hear about rentals and all that, and you may see me again in the future. Thank you very much, Gary.
All right, no public hearings or anything? All right, so I guess the next thing up to discuss is the interlocal agreement, towns of Bethel, Hanover, and Newry. And you said Bethel did agree
yeah,
or approve it, or?
they approved it, they sent it to their attorney, she did a couple, changes on the termination section 17 and 10 and 17. And Sharon said as soon as she finishes her 30-month comparison showing the tipping in Hollands, we could change the percentage instead of having to wait for the first of the year for agreement on approval. So section C on 10. At termination of this agreement for reasons of unanimous consent of, and crossed out originally specified, identified. Termination, crossed out date only. Assets shall be liquidated or sold, and funds shall be distributed to the towns in accordance with proportional ownership. If mutually agreeable payment by one town to the other or towns is expressly authorized in the right liquidation. And on 17, it was section B, got some red lines out, and section C and D. Those are added by the attorney. Do you want me to read them, or are you guys also? Page 5.
I think. So if you want to terminate, you have to give a year's notice.
Yeah.
That's the summary of C.
Well, we would have to, if we owed any money, we would have to pay it for it.
Right.
Kind of like the school district.
Well, at least now we're gonna upgrade our, at least having an agreement, when we haven't, we've had one, but we've never really approved it, we just kinda went with the flow.
Yeah.
So now at least we have something new.
This has to go to Hanover, and then it has to go to town meeting for all 3 towns, anyway.
So the percentage, she said we can change after her thing,
Yes,
after her analysis.
for 30-month comparison. I know she was working on.
Does she have like a conclusion date?
I thought we were gonna have it for today, but. I assume we'll have it by next meeting, I'll tell them. Request.
As for the allocation of the cost, right? That percentage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion, we accept the agreement as it reads with any, pretty much as it reads.
That's what the lawyers,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, after the lawyers are done, I mean, we get, what I'm trying to do is get the select board's approval of it.
I'll second that.
it's been moved and seconded that we agree to the interlocal agreement between the towns of Bethel, Hanover, and Newry for the disposable recycling of solid waste materials as approved by the lawyers. All those in favor?
In favor.
In favor.
In favor.
So now this has to go before all 3 town meetings,
Yes.
and isn't Hanover's like later?
Yes, but they were talking about having a special town meeting, anyway, so I don't know at this time.
We all meet at different times.
Right.
So,
Right.
Right, but ours is in May, Bethel in June, correct, usually.
Yeah, Hanover's usually until October or November or something, I believe like that.
I'll just add for Hanover. They're meeting today at noontime. And I think I think it'll get bumped around,
Okay.
and I said I wouldn't say anything, but I just to help
Yeah.
help that. I think they'll be amenable to whatever. I mean, they're kind of, the attitude is they're the caboose, they float,
Yeah.
they run. Everyone's skeptical of the scales, but
Yeah.
that's whatever, let people decide.
So I guess the next move will be a town meeting, and we'll have to bring it up, or we have to have a
We
public
have to-
hearing about this to do it,
Yeah, we're gonna have public hearings on some other stuff, so that's what we included.
so we'll just throw it in.
Yeah,
Just have one big public hearing.
yeah,
Maybe we'll get a good turnout.
maybe.
Maybe we usually get what's here, but unfortunately.
Yep.
All right, we'll move on. Add supplemental life insurance at no cost to the town for employees.
Our insurance agent came last week, and it's a supplemental life insurance that we can offer. The employees pay for it all on their own. Some people can't get a life insurance because of health issues and whatever. And when we offer this, they can go up to 3 times
Yeah.
what they already have through the town, and they pay the extra cost. So we just have to get approval from you, and I have to sign the forms, and away they go.
And this is through the,
Maine Municipal.
yeah,
Employees
stuff we
health
already have.
Yep, yep,
This is just for people here, it's not
Yeah.
like planning board,
No.
fire department, or anything,
No.
it's just,
yep.
Just full-time
Full-time
employees.
employees, yeah.
Well, I make a motion, we accept main employee health supplemental life insurance coverage.
I'll second that.
and moved and seconded that we go with the Maine Employees Health Trust supplemental life insurance coverage. All those in favor?
In favor.
In favor.
In favor.
I think it's very popular over here.
Another complaint, probably.
You don't
Their
take
driveway blew in.
blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, if you have your houses to blow over, Jesus.
Yeah, like that plane.
Yeah.
Right now, I'd switch driveways with anybody.
Yeah, you got the bus out.
Your driveway's prone to pulling in.
Yeah.
Next, vacation rental public meeting on February 26th at the Grange Hall at 5 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So this is, you go ahead and explain what you're really,
So, I wear a couple different hats in Newry, as you guys know. My code enforcement plumbing inspector hat is typically 1, and then firefighter would be 2. And what I see and the calls we receive for short-term rental guests, when we are in those homes that have a faulty alarm, they don't know how to shut off the alarm, they've burned the pizza, whatever the case may be, and we get in there. This past weekend was a prime example. I'm walking around checking smoke detectors, making sure none of them had the solid red light because something tripped the alarm, so I'm trying to help the owner and figure out that. I'm on the phone with the owner as I'm walking around, and the tenants are milling around. But I go downstairs in their bedroom. It's a basement bedroom. It has an egress window. It is blocked by the 2 sets of queen size bunk beds. So queen bed, queen bed. There's 4 beds in 1 bedroom. Can't get to the egress window. Firefighters would never be able to get in it to rescue anybody. And that's where the smoke alarm was, probably just a dead battery, but it sets off the whole alarm because it's hardwired system. So there's one example of why I think it would be great to have these property owners' contact info and why we would do a registration. The other things are things like septic. You have a 4-bedroom septic system. Everything in Newry is built on a hill. Most of the time there's ledge under, 2 or 3 feet of the topsoils. That septic system gets installed. You're now renting that 4-bedroom home to 19 guests, and it's not their home. We all know how people who don't live in the home treat a rental. No different than we do a hotel room. I don't live here, I'm here to have a good time, I'm out 3 days later. The septic system is not their concern. And they don't know that it's only designed to handle roughly 8 to 10 people. Now they've got 19. Transfer station, speaking of scales and transfer station, not that their tax dollars for this particular property, pick a property, don't cover our transfer station, but it's excessive. Again, when we're in there as firefighters, we see a smorgasbord that would cover that entire table to feed 10 people. I looked at one of those food spreads and went, oh my goodness, this is enough to feed them for a week, and they're only here for 3 days. All that goes in the trash. It's excessive compared to what a regular residential family would have as their trash. Roads. We may only have, 13.8 miles of public road, but all of our subdivisions and any place else that we have to get, whether it's an ambulance, a private plow company, or a fire truck up, they're parking in the road because they're afraid they're not going to get out of that driveway, especially if they're on the downslope of the subdivision. They park in the roads. We had one example 2 weeks ago on Valley View. The lady was like, well, they didn't build my house right. The driveway, I can't get out of it. Put some good snow tires on or buy a 4x4. You can't park in the middle of our public road, because it was one of our roads. So I served her a notice and told her next time that happens, she's going to get towed. We need to be able to clear the snow. We need to be able to get public safety vehicles up there. The public meeting, this is not a public hearing, it's going to be a public meeting. I have invited realtors, HOAs, the 1 or 2 citizens that I know actually have rentals. I reached right out to them. I will use Ski as an example. I went right on their website, got their information, email address, sent it directly to it and said, hey, we're having a meeting. Love to have you come. Love your input. I'm sure what's drafted right now with the red line is the attorney, the blue comments are mine. That'll get changed. But that's why we're going to have a more of a stakeholder meeting, and I want to hear what everybody has to say. Some of these HOAs already prohibit fireworks. I don't enforce covenants, but, do I want to bark up that tree about saying fireworks are prohibited? Probably not. I'm not coming out on Saturday night at 10 o'clock to see them shooting off their fireworks. The sheriff's office, if they call, is going to get there 1 or 2 hours later. They're all going to be inside asleep. So, do I need to fight that fight? Probably not. That can get removed from the ordinance. Some general things that I think are important when you are renting a property, whether here, whether I'm in Tennessee, whether I am in Phoenix. I want to know, can I drink the water out of that tap? Most of our people that come here, most of our guests that visit Newry are probably more urban dwellers than rural. They turn on a tap, their water is safe to drink, they don't think a whole lot about it. We have hotels in the area that go through rigorous state inspections and regulations to be hotels. Hotels, motels, bed and breakfast, licensed bed and breakfast, have different set of standards than the Airbnb, Vrbo, or even private rental, transitional rental market. So there's some things that I'd like to see brought up for health and safety reasons. These are not code. We're not saying it has to be brought up to code. We have homes built in 1900. We have homes built in 2024. We also don't inspect for certificate of occupancies or code compliance in this town. The townspeople have never authorized me to offer this position to do that. So that's kind of where I'm going with this. Everywhere from Bar Harbor, Rockland, Portland, Kittery, down to small little towns like Casco. But I tried to read a lot of different ordinances to get a good feel for what this looks like. It will not be an inspection that I go do. The homeowner, property owner, or property management team can fill out an affidavit. That will be their registration form. Affidavits are a legal document. They're going to get it notarized. They may come in here and have our staff notarize it. They may do it wherever they live. A bank or their town office can notarize it and get it to me. I've limited the registration period from October to December. A lot of the HOAs, condominium associations meet during that time period. There's a big fall fest. And a lot of them already do their HOA meetings during that time period. Makes it convenient for them. Everybody can come up and enjoy the beautiful fall foliage that we have. They do their HOA meeting, and if they wanted to then, that would be when I would recommend they would do their affidavit for any rentals.
So what happens if you do get complaints or whatever, then who's gonna do all the work? Because I'm only asking because I brought this up last year, and everybody was like, it would be a whole nother person we'd have to hire just to do this. So I wanna know who's gonna do all the work.
Well, that's where my research came in handy, because doing the affidavit really takes the effort off of my shoulders, because I am the only one in the office certified that would have to go do those. That's why you have to take legal issues when you become a code officer. It's really what makes you a code officer. So I'm the person that would go do that. I'm hoping, and this may open up a can of worms, I may be naive to this, but I'm hoping that the homeowners will come forward, or the property owners will come forward and say, yep, we have a rental, we have a 5-bedroom, you have our septic on file, here it is, this is our means of egress, here's our smoke detectors, here's our fire extinguishers in the kitchen, great, thank you very much. Until I get a complaint on, Saturday night, some Airbnb doesn't like whatever they see or taste in the water, whatever their complaint might possibly be. I won't get that complaint until Monday. I'm not gonna be a policeman. I'm not gonna get the 911 call and run right up there on a Saturday night. That's not how that works. If they're unsafe, call 911 and the fire department will come. I don't have a good answer. This will be a trial and error. We are not hiring a website. One of our neighbors proposed a $30,000 website to mine the internet for all these rentals. We're not doing that. We like our visitors in Newry. We want them to come. We want them to enjoy our area, but we want them to also know that the home that they've chosen to rent is safe. I'd like to see a certificate of water analysis. Cheap. It's like $75 to $125 through Paris Water District. It's fairly close. They can do that. I want to make sure I don't walk into a bedroom and find 4 queen beds blocking an egress window. But I won't know that unless they complain. I don't, you're right, we would have to have another whole person in this office to do nothing but go and inspect these short-term rentals or vacation rentals.
I'm just concerned that, let's say we do all this, and I do think we are probably being a little naive about it, because either no one's gonna do it, or everybody's gonna do it, and then if someone's unhappy with their stay, they're gonna call and complain, because that's what people do, right? They complain about stuff they don't like, they don't praise you for things that they do like very often. And then next thing you know, you're gonna have 150 houses you have to go inspect because...
I agree. Part of my history being in the town of Norway, we had to, Norway, the code officer inspected all the rentals, and that included the Section 8 rentals. I'm not differentiating those two different types of rentals, but I'm saying they are different. The complaints I would get would be, well, my landlord hasn't hung up my smoke detector. So I'd just pop in, it would take me 5 minutes and go, well, you can't keep taking it down. But I also called the landlord and made him or them, if they were an agency, come with me for the inspection and say, why aren't these 3 smoke detectors hung up? Where's the fire extinguisher for the kitchen? And they can either rectify it right then and there, or they can say, those were all up. We have cameras to prove it. I'm kind of hoping they self-police, I would rather work with the property owner than just to write a letter and say you're in violation.
I definitely think that would be ideal, I just definitely don't think
One
that's
of the things
gonna
is
work, unfortunately.
it might enlighten the people that maybe they should have a water test done, drinking water test done. It might help their liability of the situation.
Drinking water test, having a fire extinguisher in the kitchen, not blocking their egress windows. There's a home I went into just recently that had beds in the eave. Now, if you're a 7-year-old little boy, that looks like a great place to go sleep. You are just going to have that. The whole eave. Not the full attic, just the eave. They opened a little cubby door from the stairway and climbed in.
Well, they'll put beds anywhere.
They will put beds anywhere, yep. And they're gonna sign the affidavit. I may not ever know where all the beds are. But it just blew my mind that this homeowner, and I talked with him right then and there, and he goes, oh, the kids love it. I roll my eyes, and yep, kids do love it. But this is, being a resort community that we are, being tourist-driven that we are, then we really need to start working and paying attention to the safety of all the guests that come here. Whether they're in somebody's home, the hotels are already regulated and inspected. I would really like to see how health and safety standards made sure that they are complied with. And we can start with the affidavit. But you're right, if it starts to go haywire and I'm gonna need some help inspecting, we revisit the ordinance. Like we do the UDRO, like we do
Right.
the land use, all of them, yep. It'll be interesting to hear the realtors that also have a rental arm in their business, the HOA residents and presidents, I hope that come to the meeting, as well as just the general public. I'm really hoping for a good turnout. February 26th, 5 p.m., 71 Bear River Road, Grange.
Well, we'll know more on that day.
Yes, we will. Yep,
I
yep.
mean, then we're gonna revisit this several more times, I'm
Yes,
sure.
yeah, I've had one business person reach out. We have not talked about fees yet. I don't set fees, that will be something the three of you set. You know, we've talked about it internally, where would the fees go? I think they should be earmarked for a transfer in fire department, but that's my 2 cents worth. Everybody's gonna have a say. Or maybe they just go right into the general fund and help reduce tax burden. Whatever the case may be. The one business person I heard from wanted to see why we can't do hiking trails and shuttle buses. I said, that's a great idea. You show me the committee that wants that and the townspeople that want it, and happy to have them. Come right in here and talk about it with us. We can certainly discuss that. It's the first time I've ever heard anyone recommend it.
And we used to have shuttle buses, I mean, not us per se, but they had the one that we gave money to through Babcock and.
Yeah.
West Major Transportation,
Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't feasible, so they got rid of it.
Rural New Englanders, I won't even say Mainers, New Englanders, we like our cars, and we want to know that even if we have to walk down a parking lot a third of a mile downhill to get to it, we're going to want to get in our vehicle and drive home.
Well, it's
Not get
just,
on a bus.
we're not
The time frame.
used to.
We're not used to public transportation. Agreed, right.
You know, I've obviously
Yeah.
been to cities where you have to use public transportation, and the first time you're like, what is happening?
Yeah,
And how do I get from here to there? And then once you do it, it's
great,
simple.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we just don't have that.
we don't.
There's not, the
Yeah.
subway that's gonna pick me up at Newry Corner.
Oh, the T, yeah, we don't have
Shoot
T.
me on over to the IGA. Would be nice,
So-
but.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to input from the public in all ways, shapes, and forms, whether they own the house, they own the business that manages it, or they're just a concerned citizen or a business stakeholder. I want to hear from all kinds of folks, so I'm hoping we have a good turnout.
Well, we'll find out
Yeah,
next week, right?
yeah.
I've got a Medcare meeting that night, so I will not be there.
That's okay. Yeah, I think the boss is coming. Yeah.
I'm gonna see what kind of business February vacation week brings.
Yes, huh? Yeah. Oh, that's New Hampshire's vacation week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. If I survive this week, I'm just gonna get through next week.
Okay.
Made it this far.
All right, I guess now we'll move on to budget.
Sure do love me some Excel sheets.
Well,
We're happy to hear that.
yeah, oh yeah. Because I fight with Excel all the time, and I say, help! Did you want to do the other stuff before we do this, if Joe else got things to do, or not? It's up to you.
I'm good.
Okay,
I want to hear the budget talks.
just making sure.
Yeah.
Okay, administration. way over to the right in the yellow is what we're proposing for this year.
Bright yellow, because they both.
Bright
look
yellow.
yellow.
Yeah, I don't know if the other one's orange or yellow, I can't tell you. My eyeballs. So it has increased, I did increase it by 5,000. There's another program through Trio that will help with the assessing and what we see online for realtors and everything. So, and Chris, that covers Chris.
Chris is the IT guy.
IT guy, and our Bluehost, which is our website and all that. So-
Does it integrate with our GIS maps? Or does it need to? I should ask that first, because I don't know
It's
exactly.
better than a GIS mapping part.
Okay.
So then elections, I left at 1,500. Registry of deeds, I left at 1,500. Mileage, I should have brought my rule. Mileage, I left the same. Legal expenses, that's another whole ballgame. We have everything, planning board is included in this. We've already spent $14,798, and we had budgeted 15,000.
Seems like every time you turn around, we need to get advice from the lawyers, so.
Right.
Well, that's because we're doing all kinds of different things.
That's-
so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I upped that to 25. Since we've got ordinances coming up, and,
Right.
you know, who knows what else with planning board, because we're still doing that one lawsuit. Audit and accounting, I put to 15,600, and she was here 2 days last week for our 24 audit. She is almost done. I've got a few things that I've got to do for her today, so we're way ahead of the game. And they were in office unlike last year. Postage I increased because rates keep going up, certified mail's over $10 now, so when you have abatement, liens
Thirty-day
and
notices.
30-day notices, they all have to go certified mail.
They do pay
Pay
for that, but.
In the meantime, we've got to pay
Yeah.
it. AvCog, we got their bill, it's gone up to 8,657, which plan on using them for our comprehensive plan. Yep. Our dues, I left the same. Printing, I left the same, that's,
What's the print, like our printers, or like did the stuff you send out to get printed?
our printers and stuff, tax
And
bills
both.
that get sent out. Admin training, I left the same. Advertisements, I left the same. We know that advertising when the Sun Journal is, wow, expensive.
Are my postcards in there?
No.
Okay.
Office supplies, I left the same. And miscellaneous, I dropped. Hopefully we don't need anything crazy. So at this point, that's 114,657. It is up from last year. Last year we asked for 98,436. Wages, I'm not doing this trip. Skip over that. Page 2. Medicare mileage, that's Tate going to his wonderful meetings. Thank you, Tate.
yeah.
I left at 200. And Medicare, they've upped their rate to $43 per capita. So, and I added a little more because I thought maybe next year they might up it to 45 because they're on a calendar year, we're on a fiscal year. So I upped that to 18,500, I did $1,000. And the wages are for take to attend the meetings. The assessing contract is for 2 years, so that stays the same. Rob's supposed to give me a number to start saving for our townwide revaluation. I threw in 50,000, but I told me until the end of the day to give me a good number.
No pressure.
And can we check that assessing thing, because it is a 2-year contract, but I'm not sure that it stays the same.
I think it stays. You know, I'll do it for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. look
just
at that
check
too.
that,
Yeah,
just to be positive on
Yeah.
that one.
I'm sure it did, but that's okay, maybe
Okay, just to make sure.
Cemeteries, I upped a little bit in case we need some, which I think we do need some more loamings.
Yeah, I
In a,
kind of set a program where we need to, we've got graves that are settled, one
Yeah.
thing or another. And I had kind of figured 8 to 10, that we could fix 8 to 10 or
yeah,
5 or a certain number every year.
Yeah.
It would- And I'm figuring, because a lot of it's wheelbarrow work and things like
Yeah.
that it would be 300 to 500 per one that we had to do.
okay. So we can,
So we can go backwards, if we got the money there, then we can do what we can afford to do.
yeah, well, and then I wanna, talk to Pat Feeney, and usually we give him $1,000 to do stones, but I don't know with the price of everything else if we should up that too.
Yeah.
Because he didn't get to do our stones last year because he had health issues, so
When you say do the stones clean?
pick up, repair.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some
we
of
haven't
them
had
get
us clean.
damaged
That's
or,
another,
there's some that are almost like a cement, 100 years old, that's disintegrating.
Mm-hmm, okay.
and some you can't, they don't recommend that you move because they're, well,
Some of them pretty old over there.
We got some that are laying flat on the ground that have been broken off. I don't think we need to do anything with those, but that's a situation.
yeah, everyone's different, so, maybe we should revisit cemeteries too. Can do that. Third-party requests, we haven't got them all in. Age-friendly is supposed to be coming this week. I just talked to Scott about his. And I'm looking for kids, I haven't got theirs yet. We've got calls in. Right now, town of Newry does not have any graduates. From Telstar, I have not heard from Google. But all the requests have been the same as last year so far. Haven't had anything brand new, so.
Except for Bethel, right? But that was gonna be one.
Yes, Bethel Rec is a different article, which they asked for the same as they did last year, which was $4,400.
This is going on last year's, what we did last year, right?
Yep.
But
Yeah.
if some of these don't apply or ask for it,
Yeah,
they get dropped off the list,
right,
right?
but all these people have asked,
Okay.
except for the 3 that I've mentioned, and they have till March 1st, I think, so. So this will probably be, I'm sure we'll get some from AFCI, because they were planning on it this week. Scott's, Moosic Kids, they're always a little slower than the average Joe, but it's a great program, so. On the next page, it's boards and committees. The planner board, 10,500, left the same. School board, 4,800. Appeals board, we haven't had any appeals, but I still put in there. 3 people, 2,250. Health officer gets 100. And boards and committees expenses for books, classes, I left at 3,000. The contingency is 2,000. Grange Hall maintenance, miscellaneous items, I dropped it $100.
That Grange Home maintenance, we talked about doing some things there, but that comes under the general,
We were gonna buy
under
chairs.
buildings and maintenance, rather than just the height, just that.
Well, what we were gonna do was buy chairs, not tables.
I know,
But-
but there was
Was there anything else?
light fixtures and things, there was some
We
plug-ins
did
or
the,
something.
we did the lights, but wasn't there some outlets that we thought we
Yeah,
had to redo?
But I
'Cause they were
wasn't
loose.
sure if that came under the Grange Hall or if it comes under
Should I come out of building?
the
maintenance?
general,
Yeah,
the whole town buildings.
I know we had outlets here, but
We did the lights down there, we
Yeah,
definitely
but we
need
do
new
need a
chairs.
new outside light.
Yes.
So we thought about doing the chairs this year,
Yeah, we can do part of the chairs this year because we found some,
because we still have.
we found some nice padded folding chairs.
I don't even care if they're padded, I just don't want it to fall apart when somebody sits in it.
They really weren't
Are
that.
are they, and are they cloth padded or washable? We can wipe them. That makes a big difference, they shouldn't be cloth.
It should be like a vinyl.
Right,
I can't remember which ones, they had both, but
Okay.
they weren't crazy money.
yeah, we don't want cloth
Expected.
because of all kinds of things, but
Yeah.
the hospital did away with all their cloth, gosh, 2010. They slowly got away from all their
Yeah.
cloth chairs because they're not washable.
I can't remember which ones they have, but we found some
Okay.
that weren't, I mean, I was
These are
surprised.
fine.
And they're a weight limit of 300 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So,
As long as we don't pinch anybody's butt, like
Right.
those wooden ones.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
stab someone.
Those wooden ones have been there since before me.
Those are gonna be 100 years old.
I was a little girl.
Yeah.
I think there's still some labels on them, when we moved them,
I think
some of them
so.
Yeah,
still
they
have
are
some
old.
labels on them.
Oh. Bad.
Antique.
Yeah,
Maybe you
like
can
your vintage.
maybe you can sell them as antiques.
Yeah,
They might, I think a lot
Somebody
of them
had
might
one
be
for sale
Paris
on Team Bethel.
manufacturing chairs.
oh, they could be,
Yeah.
yeah. So I stopped at highways, I figured we would go beyond highways, because we're waiting for the paving bid, which is
Yeah.
next meeting.
Do you think the heat is in line?
Yeah, I went up a little on the heat.
I see that 500.
It doesn't probably get used as much in the winter.
Well, I went down the other day to check it, because my brother said the light was on inside, and I didn't see where the lights were on, but, said it was 72 in there, and the thermostat was set at 60. So, but I have a hard time reading that thermostat in
It's so high.
the, yeah,
Yeah.
and it's a light print.
Well, is that something that we need to fix?
But maybe,
Maybe Reddit just needs a step stool.
Maybe they just gotta get me taller.
Snowbank the other day.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. But other than that, it does need to be vacuumed. There's a lot of dead flies everywhere, kind of like here.
Well, we know why
have a
they're
cleaner,
here.
we can clean it.
Yeah. Yeah, so. So I'll recheck those other ones, but that's what I have for today. I didn't want to overwhelm you with the whole thing when I didn't get it all.
Our road maintenance, are we due for contract this year or is it next year?
That was, last year we just did a 3-year one.
Right.
Okay.
So, and I have my little list of the chimney here. Mike's gonna get me information on the boiler, we gotta get the electrical. Branch Hall, I put new chairs, exterior light. And I believe everything was fixed at the Grange Hall. Bear River Fire Station, I got chimney, overhead door. Sunday River Station, I got electrician, which you had, why not come anyway to this one? Was he going to the other one too?
No. No, I talked to him about it.
Okay.
I don't think we need one over there now.
Okay. And then the hazard, Sunday River hazard mitigation engineering, 70,000.
But that bid will also be in March 18th-ish.
Yeah.
Right around your second meeting for March.
Yeah. And the road paving stuff, that's the March 4th meeting. So. Those are my dreams at this point. And I gotta talk to Alan about fire department budget, he hasn't come over yet, because I haven't asked him to yet, because I didn't want him coming when the auditor was here, I figured I'd be able to straight with her, but I wasn't. We were so organized, it was scary. It was
It
very
was good.
It was good, and I told her I was glad she was here in person. So just for informational pieces, the auditor always has to know what our portions of debt is for SAD 44, so. Our debt as of 6/30/24 was $1,266,953.
in the county, we hope they don't make another move.
Yeah, exactly. Haven't got that yet. Soon, I'm sure it's coming soon.
We'll verify this time, not just the report,
Right,
right?
yes. But I always ask that.
The budget is always a good time.
Oh, I know you like that.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, I guess we'll have more next meeting.
Yeah.
Now, do you have more stuff?
I do.
That's a silly
Afraid of
question.
Code enforcement right now basically involves, so as I look at the vacation rental ordinance, that also messes with the UDRO. It messes with the land use building code ordinance. It changes, everything that needs to change all has to happen at once. UDRO will be a couple of definitions added, and we will exempt. The way the warrants will be done, we'll vote on this. If it passes, then we need to go into the UDRO and exempt vacation rentals, short-term rentals. The lawyer will draft the language as being a home occupation. Because right now, we could probably keep the planning board busy for about 2 years, every single night, all year long, just getting all of the vacation rentals that are businesses through the planning board approval process with the UDRO. Right now, we're just kind of, let's hope this passes. We'll see. So that kind of thing is happening right now. A lot of questions about what people can build, the different properties that are for sale. Is it buildable? Is it, what do I need to do for a building permit? All those kinds of questions happen after Christmas break. I have a very quiet little window of about 3 weeks. And then the realtors and all the potential buyers get real busy asking me questions. So that's what this time of year gets filled up with. Road stuff, it was quiet. It was a quiet start to the snow season, which I really, really liked. And last week alone, I rode the roads, all the roads, twice. Just making sure that what we have and what's being taken care of and making sure our contractor does what they're supposed to do. We are driving around Sunday River Valley. We have one big area just after Simon's Bridge that really gets hammered hard with snowdrift, kind of like this road does. Thankfully, this is a state road. I'm gonna talk to the property owner next year. Snow fence went away because the apparatus that they used to plow the roads got that much better. But boy, I think it might help out there just to slow down the drifts a little bit.
Do they put up snow fences anywhere?
I don't think so because the trucks and everything that they use now is just that much more powerful.
And we're not getting quite as big as storms either. I mean, I know it's blowing the same,
Right.
but the storm ratio is different than it used
Yeah.
to be.
Yeah, so I'll talk to that property owner and maybe next fall we'll put up some snow fence in that big field right there. If they let us.
Do we need to add that into the budget? I mean, you kinda need to know a number on what we're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, that's why I'm bringing it up, so you guys can know that that might be in there. Otherwise, the asphalt bids went out. We did separate it out into 3 different bids. Sunday River Road has multiple areas that will get done. I know we like to do about a 1.5 mile stretch each time, but right now we just can't. We have to fix the storm damages first, or we won't get paid by FEMA for the sections that are all damaged.
If FEMA's gonna be there.
We'll stay away from national politics. We have enough to deal with in Maine. And then we have Branch Road and Valley View. Branch Road has to get done. The one that is we'll see how the prices come in. The one that we can knock off if we don't do it will be Valley View. Just because it doesn't get used as heavily. It's a dead end. It's only the property owners going up there. And there's just a minute amount of, oh wait, I'm sorry, FEMA didn't cover any of Valley View.
Right.
Yeah, never mind. So if we have to, we can take Valley View off the table this year if the prices come in really high.
Can't wait to see those numbers.
Oh, I'm more excited about the Sunday River mitigation engineering.
Yeah.
So the engineering, just to reiterate, it's been a while since we've talked about that. Sunday River is slowly coming closer to Sunday River Road. The December 18th through 20th flood 2023 did not help that. We have multiple spots on that river that used to have the tree stumps and the rock veins. Those all washed away in December 2023 storm. The trees, some of them ended up on property owners' lawns. Some of them are there, but they're now going the wrong direction. The water was so forceful, so it's not going to help. It doesn't help divert the water and the sediment away from Sunday River Road. So, talking with several different grant options, whether it's the hazard mitigation grants, the BRIC grants, or the Congressional Undesignated Funds grant through Susan Collins' office that we talked to them about, if we can have the engineering done and we can be what they call shovel ready, they're more likely to fund us. That still doesn't mean it's not competitive, it's no guarantee we get the money, but it does make us look more prepared maybe than some of our neighbors. So that's why the taxpayers would come and pay for the engineering upfront. We do not get to go back and take a bite of the apple to get our engineering costs back from the grant people, just so we're all clear about that. But if we don't do something with Sunday River, we're gonna lose sections of that road, starting at letter S, and then working down just north of Outward Bounds Road, and then directly across from Outward Bound and just a little bit south. There's a big eddy, and it has scoured out. It's quite deep on the roadside, and it's depositing all the fill, all the beautiful, absolutely beautiful gravel on the island side. What used to be an outlet or an overflow channel has become the river. So, Mother Nature will have her way. We can really try to mitigate some of this, but this will be an ongoing battle with Sunday River Road.
Another 50 years, we'll be back the other way.
Let's hope so. We'll be saving future generations
I
of
won't
taxpayers'
really,
money.
guess I won't care at that point.
And that's, yeah.
That road has been moved over once or twice over the
Yeah.
past 100 years.
Yep, and I can see the easements we have to cross personal property, for a couple of different locations, but it gets to a point where we are butting up against cliff, rock.
Yeah.
We can only blast so far and make that a shear wall so deep and so tall before it just becomes cost prohibitive, and it's gonna be the river that needs to be hopefully tamed a little, so, yeah. There, now I'm done.
You're always full of good news.
I know, I try hard.
I mean, just have to build new bridges in there and let the water go where it wants to.
Well, we saw how well that worked on I-40 between Tennessee and Asheville, North Carolina, so let's not do that.
We'll just build a better bridge.
Deputy clerk.
Tax payments are due by the end of March, and some of them have still been coming in. I'd remind people if they don't know about the homestead exemption, the deadline for that is April 1st. The link for that is on our website under online documents. And we'll be closing at noon next Tuesday for the three girls that are gonna go to, training for motor vehicle. For the new plates that everybody's gonna get. In May, if you have chickadee plate, they're disappearing, so we're gonna give everybody new plates.
The Christmas looking ones.
Yeah,
Or you can get a plain one.
they go.
So they're gonna teach us how we're gonna go about that.
They didn't get their flags, and now they're gonna put them on license plates?
Yes. Yeah. Apparently people did not get to vote on that part of it, I don't know, but,
That was a question.
yeah,
Yes.
so. So we will be closed at noon
Yes.
next Tuesday to go Rumford to learn about that.
We still have to go up.
I
This
know.
is
Yeah.
true.
I was happy about that.
The lure is really good food, just saying.
And they make really strong drinks.
We won't be drinking.
No.
You went after.
Are you done?
Yes, I am.
I guess we will go with the town administrator.
Well, I signed us up for Household Hazardous Waste Day, which is scheduled for September 6th, 2025.
September?
September.
Probably.
I thought it was too, because I thought it was usually August, but usually, And we did receive a workman's comp audit refund of $1,274.
We'd be safe, team.
They don't see me standing on rolling chairs.
Yeah.
I saw that, I was surprised you did that.
Don't be.
Yeah, standing on it and
Crazy
falling
things
from
go
it.
on around
She's
here.
a safety girl. I don't
Yeah, I know, I know.
I am.
She might preach it, but, you know.
Yeah, I know you feel it.
That's about all I have. Been working on budget, audit. You know, when the auditor asked for a couple things, I sent her the wrong year, because, you know, we're in 25, she's doing 24, and I was working on 26, so. And she laughed, she goes, well, they all have the same problem. So I felt pretty good about that, but, yeah. So far, so good.
So we have to decide what time our next meeting is.
Yes.
I'd be happy to come by 5, and I won't be here for 9 o'clock.
Wages
Probably reach it 5, because I don't think there'll be much going on that early in March, so. No guarantees, but we can shoot for 5. See what happens.
So we're doing 5 o'clock on the 4th,
Yes.
that's the plan.
That would be great, because the bids all get opened at 4 PM, and then we can talk about it.
That would
That's
work
right.
out
Yeah,
good.
but
that's-
Good thing. I forget about those bids.
I know, because I was thinking.
That's why we always do them so late in the
I know,
afternoon, so we can
right.
discuss
Yes,
them.
yeah, yeah.
All right, well, with that being said, I make a motion we adjourn at 9:55.
Second it.
Moved and seconded that we adjourn at 9:55, all those in favor?
In favor?
In favor.
In favor.
Me too.
Don't forget to shut that camera